Hey, what's going on, everybody? This is Adam Burke from BangTheBook.com, coming to you with my Tuesday 3-pack, my three favorite plays here for January 29th. See if we can warm things up with some winners here. I got 3-0 on Thursday night. Hopefully we can get that to continue as we go throughout this week here. Speaking of this week, over at BangTheBook.com, outstanding work being done by all of our writers here, whether they're writing about the NBA, college basketball, NHL, or the Super Bowl. We got a lot of great stuff going on over there. Please make sure you check it out. I bookmarked an event page for Super Bowl 53 with some different prop opinions, Danny Vorks' power ratings play for the game, and then we'll talk about, all kinds of props here on our YouTube page. Those videos will be linked in that article over at BangTheBook.com. Also going on over there, we've got Kyle Hunter's daily college basketball picks, Parker Michaels' daily NHL picks. We keep going with the NBA and college basketball, and I'll be hopefully putting out some preseason MLB stuff here over the next couple of weeks in terms of statistics that I use to handicap, some division futures, World Series futures, all that type of stuff. So we'll start to think spring over at BangTheBook.com, even though most of the country not really thinking spring at all because it's just too damn cold right now. All right, let's get into the Tuesday 3-pack here, my three favorite plays for January 29th. We start on the hardwood here in the NBA, game 539-540. The Washington Wizards are a 7.5-point favorite, total of 219 against the Cleveland Cavaliers. Wizards aren't in a great spot here. This is the final game of a 3-game road trip, third road game in 5 days, and they play at home tomorrow night against the Indiana Pacers. Now, of course, playing the Pacers a little bit different with Victor Oladipo out of the equation. So for the Wizards, they have to think that they can take tonight's game for granted and then probably go ahead and get that game at home tomorrow night. However, the market not in agreement with that. Line's gone up from 6.5 to 7.5 for this game. I'm not interested in the side, though. I'm looking at the total for game 539-540. Look, the Cavs team total in this game is 106. You look at the total of 219, the spread of 7.5, Cavs total 106 points. That's something that they have not reached in their last 6 games. The last time they went over 106 points, January 16th, on the road at Portland. They shot 48% from the floor in that game. The Cavs are not a good offensive team at all whatsoever, as we know. They've got one of the lowest assist rates in the NBA this season. I think they're 29th in percentage of field goals made that have been assisted. They don't share the basketball well. They don't make a ton of shots. They're just not a good offensive team. Yes, the Wizards are bad on defense. Yes, the Cavs are bad on defense. But when I look at this game tonight, the Cavs 29th in pace. I think this game is played a little bit slower than what Washington wants with the back-to-back, with the end of the road trip. The Cavs just don't make a lot of shots. They don't play very good defense either, but the Wizards, I'm a little bit concerned about their offensive profile without John Wall out there. I know Bradley Beal's a very, very good player. But, for Washington tonight, I think this is just a win and get out type of game. The Cavs don't get to the free throw line very much. They don't foul a whole lot. Wizards 28th in offensive rebounding percentage, so second chance points maybe a little bit tough to come by for them. I just think this total is too high. I don't think that either one of these offenses is going to have a field day tonight. The Cavs obviously don't do well offensively most nights. Even though they're facing what could be an elixir in this Wizards defense, I still think that this is just not a good spot to look for points. I'll take under 219 in game 539-540 between the Wizards and the Cavaliers. Ironically enough, we move over to the college basketball side for game 639-640. Nevada, 9.5-point favorites, total of 149.5 on the road to take on UNLV. We talked about UNLV on Monday's edition of Bang the Book Radio with Kyle Hunter. If you missed that segment, it's right here on our YouTube page, so very easy for you to go back and check that out. But UNLV here so far in Mountain West play, shooting 41.9% from three-point land. Their last 4 games, UNLV shooting 49.1% from distance. That is not going to continue. It's just not going to happen for this UNLV team. Nevada, a top 60 three-point percentage defense so far this year. Also, the Wolfpack, they're only shooting 30.3% from 3 in conference play. I would expect that to be on the rise here. And for UNLV, very inconsistent on the defensive side of the floor. In their last game, they gave up 1.289 points per possession to San Diego State. In the previous 2 games against New Mexico and San Jose State, .859 points per possession allowed, .738 points per possession allowed. But those are two really bad teams, very bad offenses. In UNLV's game against Air Force 4 games ago, 1.495 points per possession allowed. So when they face good offenses, that defense really does disappear for UNLV. That 3-point percentage going to regress as we go throughout the conference play season here. This is a statement game for Nevada. Nevada upset that they're not going to run the table in conference play. I know this line's come down a little bit from 10 to 9.5, indicating that there is a little bit of sharp money on UNLV here in this spot. But that 3-point percentage regression is just way too much for me to overlook. They're not going to have as much success on the offensive glass against a pretty good defensive rebounding team in Nevada. That's been a big factor for UNLV. They get a lot of offensive boards, and they've been making a lot of threes. Well, I think both of those things do regress to the mean here a little bit for them in the coming games, and of course would regress to the mean here tonight. So Nevada, I've got a team in line for some positive regression on offense. They've got the better coach. They've got a big defensive edge here, and you've got a UNLV team that should regress shooting from distance and won't get as many second chance points and extra possessions here in this game. So I'm going to be a little bit Joe Public here. I'm going to be a little bit foresighted, but I'll take Nevada minus the 9.5 to win big in Las Vegas. Finally, we end on the ice, appropriately enough. Game 077-078, Winnipeg takes on Boston. Boston a minus 170 favorite tonight. Total of 6 in this game. The NHL is a very unique animal right now because a lot of these teams have had significant breaks with the All-Star break, and some teams on a bye last week. 21 teams here of the 31 don't return to action until Friday coming out of the All-Star break, but Winnipeg returned to action last night. They did lose 3-1 against Philadelphia, didn't play particularly well in that game. They had some comments after the game talking about how we need to be sharper tomorrow night, we need to be better tomorrow night. They're very focused, very invested, very motivated in this game here because this wraps up a mini 2-game road trip to start the post-All-Star break play. You don't want to go 0-2 in these games. You don't want to have those winless road trips. Really just makes it seem all for naught. So I think Winnipeg comes with a big effort here tonight. Most importantly, they had a chance to knock off the rust. Boston playing for the first time since January 19th tonight. So, I think Winnipeg can get back into the flow of the game. Speaking of which, not to go off track, but I do like the spot for Buffalo tomorrow night. They play in Columbus tonight, in Dallas tomorrow night. Similar situation. They get to knock off the rust, get back into the rhythms and the flow of the regular season in the NHL. So I think that benefits Winnipeg here, whereas for Boston, you get a practice or two in, then you just play a home game, on a rink that you're always accustomed to seeing. You're not back out on the road with the boys yet. I think for Winnipeg, that is a benefit here tonight. Also, this line has moved quite a bit because Connor Hellebuck getting the start for Winnipeg. Their better goaltender played last night. Tonight they go with Hellebuck. There's some modest signs of positive regression for Hellebuck here. While he does rank 59th out of 72 goalies this year in goals saved above average, his expected save percentage of 92.13%, quite a bit higher than his actual save percentage of 91.25%. So Hellebuck is a guy that should get a little bit better. Certainly Winnipeg should come with a strong effort here tonight in front of him as well, which I do really like. I think this is an inflated underdog price now with the goaltending situation, with how Winnipeg looked last night. And also, Tuukka Rask put on injured reserve for the concussion that he suffered just before the All-Star break. So it will be Yaroslav Halak tonight for Boston. Halak, 93.28% save percentage here on the season, but his expected save percentage, 92.28%. So he's 1% higher than where he should be. He's 5th in high danger save percentage. I would expect that to regress a little bit. But ultimately for me tonight, I like Winnipeg here because they shook the rust off, because Boston, in a little bit of a tough spot here. Maybe if you don't like Winnipeg for the full game, and I understand that with Hellebuck between the pipes, maybe you take the first period with the Winnipeg money line. They're plus 155, plus 160 for the game. Maybe you take a first period line when those get posted here this afternoon. So that could be an option for you, but because I know those aren't available to everybody, we take Winnipeg plus 155, plus 160 tonight on the money line. So the 3 plays for the Tuesday 3-pack are Wizards Cavaliers under 219, Nevada minus 9.5 over UNLV, and Winnipeg on the money line tonight on the ice over the Boston Bruins. I'm Adam Burke for BangTheBook.com.